Welcome to our leader-led video series on the sales conversation cycle. Life is sales, as we know, and everyone is in the sales business. Our objective is to look at the sales process as a conversation and take you through a 4-stage cycle that would indicate the sales process is actually a legitimate conversation rather than pushing a product onto your customer. The 4 stages that we're going to introduce you to are the greeting, the welcome, and then a switch into discovering the client's needs, a needs analysis, if you will, and then how to provide advice and close that sale, and finally, the follow-up. So that's really the cycle of the whole process we're going to talk about today. And the very first unit is the greeting and the welcoming stage of our sales conversation. We all do this with our friends and our family and socially, but how do we do it in a work environment? Those first 2 minutes that you meet your client has a significant impact on how the rest of the meeting will go. First impressions count, and we need to take advantage of those first 2 minutes of the conversation to show our customer that we care. Customers don't listen until they know you care. Our job in the first 2 minutes is to clearly show our customers that we care. So let's take a couple of minutes right now in your groups and talk about what are the things you do in those first 2 minutes that clearly demonstrate that you care when you meet your client. So go ahead, take 2 minutes right now and make a list. Welcome back. How did that go? You probably came up with some pretty common terminology for that greeting process that shows that you care. You greet the customer, you shake their hand, call them by name, welcome them into your office. Those are all great things to show your customer that you care. The challenge for us is that all of your competitors do the same thing. We really need to find a way that differentiates ourselves from our competitors, that clearly shows that we care for our customers in a different way. Look at them as if they're coming into your home. If someone came into your home and they knocked on the front door, what would you do? You wouldn't sit on the couch and yell at them to come on in. You would go to the door and greet them and welcome them to your home. And when they leave, of course, you wouldn't sit on the couch, grab a bag of chips and say the door's over there, away you go. You would escort them to the door to say goodbye. So what I'm going to suggest is think about how you can apply that same logic of guests to your home to guests coming to your office. You should greet them at the door. You should take them to the door rather than just simply stand up at your desk and say goodbye, escort them to the door. That will differentiate you from all of your competitors, and it clearly shows that you care for your customer in a different way than many of your clients. Now, most salespeople hand out their business card at the end of the conversation to sort of say goodbye and maybe ask for a referral. I'm going to suggest that you should hand out your business card first. When you meet the client for the very first time, hand out your business card at that point in time. Here's what happens. You introduce yourself, the client introduces themselves, the client hears your name, and if you give them the business card, what do? They look at the card and they read your name. That way, your name is cemented into their head and they don't spend the first couple of minutes trying to remember who you are. If they forget, they can just look at the card. That makes them feel far more comfortable with the relationship, and they are much more likely to have more of an open dialogue. So give them your business card first and call them by name twice in the first 1 minute. Now that we've looked at various ways that we can show our customers that we care, I would like you now to break into your groups and choose 2 or 3 very specific behaviors that you will be able to implement over the next 30 days and notice a difference in the way we are connecting and greeting and welcoming our clients.